welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be all about bunker etiquette tips. I've got 6 tips for you. So if you're a beginner golfer just starting out and you're not sure the etiquette when it comes to bunkers or sand traps, be it by the green or fairway, well, don't worry, this video is going to tell you everything you need to know. All right, so tip number 1 is to enter from the low side of the bunker. You can see over here to my right, you've got the low side. That's going to be where the ground actually goes up to meet the sand. Then we've got the high side over here on my left. This is normally going to be facing the green. Sometimes in fairway bunkers, it can be designed a little bit differently, but you don't want to enter from that side. If you were to say, step right here, it can damage the face of the bunker, making it difficult for the grounds crew to keep the bunkers in play and nice. So always enter in from the low side. That's tip number 1. So for etiquette tip number 2, make sure that you pick up the rake as you enter the bunker, okay? And this is going to prevent you from having to create more footprint traffic in the bunker, making it more difficult to smoothly rake out and more time consuming for the players behind you. So just good idea, pick it up as you enter the low side of the bunker and place it over near where you're going to be swinging. You don't want it anywhere near where you're actually going to be hitting the ball, but you can have it close by in the bunker for easy access so that you can quickly clean up your mess and rake out as you walk out. Now, one tip I want to mention here is that if you use the rake to actually test the conditions of the sand in the bunker or sand trap, you will incur a penalty. That is not allowed in the game of golf. So the next etiquette tip I have for you may seem fairly obvious, but after you play your shot, make sure that you use the rake to properly smooth out the sand. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are trying to get the sand trap or bunker back in the same condition that you found it, or as close to the same condition that you found it as possible. The last thing you want to do is to have some big footprint or divot mark that somebody's ball lands in and makes it even more difficult for them to play that shot. So don't be that guy and not rake your sand trap. Okay, so tip number 4 for bunker etiquette is to rake your footprints as you walk out of the bunker, okay? You want to exit the bunker on the low side just like you came in, and you basically just want to retrace your steps with the rake, just like this. You want to make sure the next unlucky golfer who lands in the sand trap or bunker does not land in one of your big old footprints, okay? Not good. Okay, so tip number 5 for bunker etiquette is to bang the sand out of your shoes before you walk onto the green surface. The idea is to keep sand off of the putting surface and the putting green, because that just makes play more difficult. It's another hazard that you have to contend with, as well as other golfers. So just take your club, bang the sand out of your shoes before you walk onto the putting green. Then the final bunker etiquette tip I have for you guys today is to make sure that you place the rake in its designated spot. Most courses will have a section where the rake actually goes around the bunker to make sure it stays out of play and isn't a hazard for the golfers behind you. Some courses won't have that, and they just kind of lay the rake in any spot that's not going to obviously impact a golfer's game. Definitely on the low side of the bunker, like we talked about, the low side, not the high side, okay? And just try to keep it out of play. So if the green is this way, I'm not going to set the rake right there where people are playing towards the green. They have the possibility of actually smacking the rake. I'm going to put it on either the left or right side of the bunker here and on the low side. Now, for some of you beginner golfers, this is an additional tip, not necessarily bunker etiquette, but part of bunker play. When you're going out there to make your bunker shot, make sure that you don't set your club down behind the ball when you're ready to hit. That counts as a stroke. If you're going to make your bunker shot, you must hover the club off of the ground and then make the shot. You cannot rest the club on the ground in the bunker, because that's going to cost you a stroke. Now, there are a couple exceptions. Number 1, if you are away from your shot, maybe you're talking with a buddy, or you're assessing some other situation or something like that, you can rest the club in the bunker on your leg, and that does not count as a stroke. Also in the rules, but I don't admit doing it because it damages the bunker and it makes you look silly. If you make a bad bunker shot, you are allowed to slam the club in the sand trap out of frustration, and it doesn't cost you a stroke. Golf's just weird that way. If you guys enjoyed this video, then check out this playlist right here. It's all about how to get started in the game of golf. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep on swinging.